The Mean Girls Club uses me as a kind of slave, so I decide to take revenge, dismantling their lives and leaving them aimless. Subscribe to Ami the Jerk on YouTube and hit the bell for notifications. Some time ago, I had the pleasure of confronting 5 girls who were openly abusing people. Most of them lost partners, almost all their friends, 1 lost her job, 2 went to jail, and all lost their social status. In the distant past, I worked at a big trusty corporate store. You would know which one if I mentioned the name now. During this period, I was facing an emotionally dark situation, which made me an easy target for one of these girls. Let's call her Cosplay Slew. Although the term seems negative, it reflects the reality of what she was. As the story unfolds, you will understand why. She quickly approaches me, asking for help with video editing and photo shoots. At the time, I was trying to get into content creation, and I thought it would be a good opportunity. I was lonely, depressed, and, being a virgin, any female interest messed with my head. Looking back, I regret allowing her to use me in that way, but at the time, my lack of social experience made me vulnerable. This girl exploited me in various activities, from daily video editing to helping with sunrise photo shoots to capture the magic hour. Furthermore, she used me in her online activities, from attending meetings with photographers to buying movie tickets, always claiming to be nervous about being alone with me. I bought food for her daily at work, falling into the trap of her manipulations. Although it may seem like an obvious situation to some, my lack of self-confidence and naivety made me easy prey. My parents tried to warn me, but I didn't listen. Even after declaring my feelings for her, she laughed in my face. This situation lasted for months, during which I stopped creating content, but continued editing her videos and responding to her requests. One day, while shopping for supplies for yet another cosplay, we ran into another girl, who we'll call a random idiot. At first, she seemed cool and energetic. We exchanged information and became friends on Facebook. Cosplay Slew, aware of her relationship, tried to manipulate the situation, warning me not to hit on her. This interaction, chronologically, was the starting point of the 2 conspiring against me. So after that episode with the cosplay, the Slew starts chasing another guy. I won't give him a special name, but let's just say he was terrible, really bad. They meet once, and he tells her all these lies about emotional damage and how they need to keep things secret but still want to be together. She believes him, but he deceives her. She gets worried and asks me to investigate this on my side with an old friend. Now, 2 things happen that, to this day, make me happy, because they allowed me to take revenge. The first was that I created a second Facebook account, pretending to be a girl, to attract the guy. The next thing was that Cosplay Slew gave me full access to her Facebook to read the messages between the 2. Like I said, this guy was bad news. He was cheating on her. I didn't even need to hook him. In fact, I only sent him a friend request and received an inappropriate photo without provocation. At that time, I learned from some friends that he did this serially, finally meeting a girl who, when I asked her about him, replied that he was the guy who forced himself on me and asked not to contact him again. So I gathered all this evidence and took it to Slew Cosplay. She vehemently refused to believe it, claiming that I had faked it and was jealous of him, and that we would never be friends again. I said okay, and we stopped being friends. This was my interaction with Slew Cosplay after we broke off our friendship. I started messaging this random idiot, and we became friends. I barely knew the real story behind them. I'll be quicker with this than the slew cosplay, but to say the least, she was worse. She constantly made me give money and buy her expensive things, from anime, manga, makeup, concert tickets to her and her two friends' Pokemon onesies. I never felt like I could say no, because if I did, she would tell a sad story about her childhood and, being a kind heart, I would give in. This lasted 2 years, during which time I improved emotionally, became more self-confident and a better person in every way. But I always returned to my sad state when she belittled me. Finally, I had had enough. I told her to stop messaging me and that we were no longer friends. She had a hard time dragging my name through the mud. In the end, I only had one friend left, my true friend. I skipped 2 months, I'm feeling so much better, I'm smiling more often, I don't want to end things anymore, and I'm feeling great. But I was still upset about everything that had happened, but I couldn't do anything until one day I got bored, looking at my phone and saw something interesting. The cosplay slew account was still logged into my phone as a second profile. On a whim, I tried to open it and was successful. She hadn't changed the password and had given my phone permission to remember the password. I thought it would just give a weird look into her life, but what I discovered was even worse, a Facebook group literally called the Mean Girls Club. In it, I found 5 girls, including the random idiot and the cosplay slew, all talking about what they were doing to get the guys to buy it and do it for them. It was distressing to look at. I scrolled up, further and further, to the first message, going back years. I don't know how, but these 5 had been doing this for a long time. It was crazy. It was then that I started to come up with a plan. The first thing I did was capture everything. And when I say everything, I mean thousands of photos, including but not limited to photos of things they bought with other people's money, private images of partners or people they were interested in, and the pinnacle of it, a shared folder on Dropbox, filled to the brim with photos and videos of them engaged in very compromising activities, something equivalent to a Hollywood producer behind the scenes with an aspiring actress circa 1938. Everything seemed to have been designed to prevent any of them from giving up or backing down, thanks to Dropbox blackmail and the fact that the rest of the group would turn against anyone who tried to leave or expose the others. I know it's hard to understand, but think of it this way, the original group consisted of 8 girls and 1 guy. All who left were threatened with total ruin. I read about them causing people who tried to leave to lose jobs and families by falsely accusing the one guy of assault, which forced him to move to another state due to the rumors. Additionally, they ruined a local store, forcing it to close, and put another guy in jail after accusing him of attacking one of them. There are many bad things they did, but mostly they bragged about using guys to get things and money. I, of course, was there, as was everything I bought for them, totaling about $5,500 over 2 years. The 2, cosplay slew and random idiot, were so proud of what they did. I was surprised and honestly hurt by it all. I knew they were idiots, but nothing on this level. So I did what anyone would do, I turned them against each other. The first thing was to use my fake profile to join the group, chat under the pretext of being friends with cosplay SLO. It took some time and creative use of both profiles, but I did it. I began to sow discord, sending messages to each other about the other members. Over the course of a month, I made everyone distrust each other with gossip. Then I attacked. I messaged a random idiot's boyfriend using the Slew cosplay profile, making them openly flirt. Then I told the random idiot about it, always using my fake profile. Told the cosplayer that the random idiot wanted to defame her by sending blackmail. I sent messages to the rest, relaying information about the impending conflict, telling them to prepare to burn another member of the group if anyone attacked. It was like the beginning of the First World War, but with about 20 girls. 3 hours was the time it took from the messages to the Slew cosplay until the first bomb dropped. It was triumphant to watch each of them destroy themselves, revealing lies, betrayals and job thefts to important people and families. They were called out for misusing company property and inappropriate behavior in the workplace. Private tapes were released on several adult websites and shared extensively on social media. They even created a fake Facebook profile and I simply watched. 3 months later, the dust has settled for everyone except Cosplay Slew, who deleted her social media accounts. It was then that Cosplay Slew started messaging me on my fake account, demanding some sort of refund. He stated that he had never added me to the group and that no one had any dirt on me. I responded calmly, saying I'm just an idiot named Karma. I deleted the profile and lost the Slew cosplay login information. However, I kept the files in Dropbox and the screenshots, as I was sure that, putting 2 and 2 together, they could identify me. A year later, nothing. I didn't find out more than the basic repercussions, as I didn't know the other 3 personally. Random idiot ended up homeless for a few months before going to jail. Some blackmail resulted in a video of her consuming substances while missing a court date. She stated in the video that it was her court date and the courts could wait. She was later arrested for violating probation and lying to a judge. Cosplay Slew lost her job and almost 30 of her more than 4,000 followers, as well as her boyfriend who left her after discovering her betrayal. Her backup boyfriend also walked away, as she cheated on him with another guy who was just in it for fun. I heard she moved back in with her parents and can't keep a job because people know what happened. These women may have misinterpreted the message of Mean Girls. The film aims to show the harmful consequences of this type of attitude and behavior, not encourage it. It all builds up over time and eventually explodes, ruining the lives of everyone involved. It seems like these girls thought it was just for fun, but it's a recipe for disaster. It surprises me that Slew Cosplay allowed the original author full access to his Facebook, especially if all of that stuff was there. You would think she would be worried about being discovered. Unfortunately, there are people who try to take advantage of those who are interested in them and like to see how far they can go. These girls deserved a wake-up call, considering how many people they may have harmed over time, not just financially but emotionally as well. The best part is that the original author didn't even have to do all the heavy lifting, they just pushed the first dominoes, and Regina George and her gang took care of the rest. You can submit your own stories to be featured here on the channel. The link to submit stories is in the description below. And if you want to enjoy some BBY songs while you follow along, also check out the easy mode at the link below. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. In high school, I had to face a complicated situation with a girl who kept cheating on me. In the second year, things escalated, and I ended up punching her in the face. The fight started when I realized she was a dirty cheater, with long nails constantly poking my sides. I didn't know if it was intentional until I reversed it and it scratched my arm. Despite pointing out the red marks under my shirt to the referee, he ignored my complaints. In the second period, I was on top, and she was on the bottom, blocking the referee's view. Quick as a rabbit, I punched her twice in the face. It doesn't matter the gender, if someone plays unfairly, there are consequences. After defeating her, the match continued fairly, without attempts to complain to the referee. This is a mixed sport, and the referee should consider using long, sharp nails, especially if it gives an unfair advantage. I disagree with the poster's approach, but when the referee doesn't act, there are few options left. Lately, I've been mistaken for a grocery store employee so often that I might as well start working there. On a trip to the supermarket, a man asked me to read the text on his doctor's appointment note. The text was too small for him, and I repeated several times that it was for Thursday at 2:15 p.m. He thanked her, introduced himself as Jerry, and asked where to find the milk. I pointed to the coolers, and he was gone. Another man, not Jerry, asked about the fat content of 2% milk, while Jerry picked one up. I responded, and Jerry thanked me again before asking where I kept my cereal. As you can imagine, the urge to reply in the kitchen cupboard was strong, but instead I looked around and waved, indicating to Jerry that I was there. He asked me which milk to buy, and I recommended 1%. Thanking him, he lifted a gallon and left. However, before I could walk down the aisle, Jerry stated that his appointment was on Wednesday at 2:15 p.m. I had to correct him. No, Jerry, your appointment is Thursday at 2:15 p.m. Some people are really kind, like elderly people who, without knowing any better, ask for help. The initial favor was unrelated to the supermarket, but our original posters couldn't say no. Sometimes we need to slow down, interact, and help others around us. However, in another situation, a so-called jerk attempted to start a fight at the auto parts store. Upon entering, I noticed this guy was bothering an employee, complaining about the modified car and demanding a part. His speech was filled with expletives, and the employee seemed helpless. When another customer was at the counter, the idiot started shouting, accusing him for no apparent reason. The unhappy customer tried to apologize, but the idiot continued to be aggressive. In a tense moment, the idiot was face to face with the unhappy customer, intimidating him. The customer, visibly cowering, tried to explain himself, but his words seemed to fuel the idiot's aggression even more. The situation was out of control, with the idiot ready to explode at any moment. You idiot, look at you. Ready to shed tears? The unfortunate customer backed away, avoiding a possible attack, and hurriedly left the store. The idiot turned to the employee behind the counter in disbelief. Do you think you can take a step here? What a joke! At this point, I was weighing my options. I'm the type who can't keep quiet. Maybe I should have something on hand to protect myself, I thought, as I looked at the tire irons there. However, my daughter's safety was a priority. Maybe I should demand the idiot be kicked out or just take my business elsewhere. In the blink of an eye, a manager appeared, blocking my possible stupid action. Hey, that was a 95 at FNA, right? It nailed it. And by the way, I ordered one for you, but after this unnecessary behavior, you're not allowed to buy here anymore. What do you think about that? The idiot tried to argue, but the manager didn't budge. "I don't believe you deserve more. Leave now and never come back." The idiot stood there, staring for a moment before leaving the establishment with a scream. When I went to check, the manager was still at the register. It's amazing how some people fit into stereotypes. I defended that poor boy, but now, with the problem resolved, life went on. Unfortunately, it's a common story in my life. Finally, I wondered if the idiot actually bought all the parts he needed. I did some research and discovered there were no odd parts available. Few did. I just couldn't get them. However, the idiot now believed he was out of luck. I defended that boy and, despite the difficulties, I left with the satisfaction of knowing that the idiot didn't get what he came for. Sometimes you have to mind your own business, especially when you have a daughter by your side. Hello HistoReddit folks. Today we bring you an intense story of an unusual encounter in an auto parts store. An idiot caused a real commotion, but the manager managed the situation surprisingly well. We defended a client, and the idiot left without what he came for. A narrative full of twists and turns. If you like this story and want more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any HistoReddit videos. Share with your friends and we'll see you in the next episode.